game. So yeah, I appreciate the rankings are close, but I quite heavily would favor Sinners, to be honest, right now.
It is an interesting angle, right? I'm always finding it difficult, but Sinners are coming into this one in a much better form. You're looking at some of the previous games. Sure, they lost that grand final of the Winlight Inside Season 9 to Ecstatic, but before that, you're looking at so many clean wins. The 2-0 over Spirit Academy, over GG How, over the All-Inners, Arcred, Ecstatic again, Cybershock. They were in a series of 6 consecutive 2-0 wins, so definitely going into this game in a great shape. With that being said though, folks, we're going to jump right into map number 1, and it is Mirage, Sinners on their own map pick, starting on the T side with a bit of a good old B pop, but Gizmy's got an 8. That could be painful.
Pretty spicy onto those later players come in. Kisarek though, absolute assassination on Gizmy. So the site is claimed. Afro says we want to fight this before afterplants can really be established. He's a little bit in no man's land at the moment, and he pays the price. Wow, they could never get a good fight together, these Monte players, and saving might honestly be the best option because you're not retaking this.
No, you really aren't, and it's a little bit far from the standard B-pop on a pistol round that you'd see, right? Because you see the short smoke instead of a window kitchen one, right? So they don't really care about the rotation so much. They wanted to isolate that one player that is coming in towards short. Make sure that Gizmy's going to be all alone. Nate lands, tags 2 players down to 50 HP. They can't really get a kill out of it though, and there was the late flashes as well. I'm not sure if you were able to see that, but Gizmy was blind as a bat towards the back of the bomb site. And Azu might actually go down. A little bit of exit damage. Beamus will collect a double, and all of this is not too bad, honestly. The CTs I don't think are gonna be too tempted to go for an investment, but nowadays, you get a kill, that's $50 in the bank account of every single one of your teammate, including yourself, so well done.
Looks like it will just be a half buy.
Beamus has got enough money to buy an ult for Afro in the first buy. Well, not anymore. Long live the 5-7.
Leave that one. I was interested by the stats, actually, that I was quite confident that when this team of Sinners first came together, that Strassaran was really leading the way statistically. It's actually Kisarek at the moment.
Yeah.
So that could obviously be for two sides. I mean, Kisarek could have stepped up, Strassaran could have dropped off a little bit, but the first few games I saw with Strassaran, he was a monster. Just absolutely owning the server. So it'd be interesting to see today if that player is still with us at the moment.
Yeah, it's a bit crazy, isn't it? Because if you have been following the international scene, Strassaran, probably not one of the guys that you know too much. I mean, I realize I know him, and I know him just because I'm from the same region. He was a free agent between, April of 2024 and July of 2025 when he got picked up by Sinners. He was just playing on a team called Aerolia before that. And that's, as you can probably figure out, that was a Balkan team. That was a North Macedonian team. And it wasn't really the pinnacle of Tier 2 Counter-Strike, that lineup. Played there with guys like 8-Kit, like Bibu, like Danny. Some of the familiar names out of the North Macedonian scene. But he really has been blossoming ever since joining that system. But yeah, Kisarek has been an interesting addition. He's coming in from that Polish side of Kaleshi and Rebels before that, Paloma. Shout out one time.
Something that's quite telling for Kisarek as well is that the Venom guys now talk about how much they miss having a player like him.
Sure.
He was, a good communicator, a proactive player, so that's all very good signs on a team like Sinners. Kisarek sounds like a player that has the confidence to call around himself, have impact, and maybe today we'll see some of that. Strassaran, spoke about him earlier, opens up the scorecard here on this round, and Ryu, he's got some work to do. He's pretty surrounded. Just Strassaran check below him. Not just yet. They still haven't looked towards Sandwich. Ryu surely is a dead man soon. Peppo nades out. When will he spring his trap? So pinned into this position. Here comes the swing. Peppo, lazy check, gets taken down. So much damage onto these Sinners players. And luckily, the cavalry arrived before he could get pinched.
I'm usually not one to look at the micro too much, but that was a lovely off angle coming in from Ryu into our sandwich, by the way. You described it as a lazy check. It's actually a hard clear in towards the right hand side of sandwich, right? Under those circumstances, there was a lot of pressure being put on the A-bomb side. You're expecting if there's a sandwich player, they're going to be trying to stay alive for as long as possible. He actually puts himself a little bit more in the open there. Puts himself in a position where the crosshair of the T trying to clear him out is not necessarily looking at him, and a big kill coming out of the CT player. So first round picked up out of Monte. Money not really there too much for the side of the Sinners, so they'll try and keep it simple. A couple pistols, an AK, and a Galil, and they are making their way in towards that A-bomb site.
They've got a lot of util. They have to be explosive here, and Ryu, wow, Kisarek never stood a chance there. Here comes the nades, but it feels like this hit has lost all the pep to its step. There's so much counter util now landing. Whew. Ryu assassinates another, surely more to come. Okay, kills in reverse. Azu, I don't know how he died in the middle of that. Afro needs to stay alive a little bit for his teammates. Nade does the job. Bomb is dropped out in the open back towards Tetris, and this hit is totally fallen apart.
All right, that was not the cleanest round ever, even though they keep 3 alive. It was a little bit weird there for a second, wasn't it? You gotta appreciate the fact that Kisarek is trying to find that first kill before the execute even comes through. If he gets that kill, then they slow down, and then the execute comes in. You're probably getting the bomb site for free, but he loses that fight. Ryu is able to get away with a magical double kill. The pistols were able to find a double there in some way, but all in all, a clean start to that CT side for Monte. And this is where, by the way, Alan, I'm a little bit perplexed with Monte, because obviously they were a little bit lackluster before they took the break. Just 2 days ago, I had the opportunity to watch them play. They look great.
We'll see over the series. They're certainly a team that I could believe runs quite hot and cold. It tends to be the case with these lineups that maybe lack some identity. There's no doubting there's a lot of individual skill on this team. They wouldn't have the ranking they have right now without that. Especially being a team that, if we criticize them for maybe lacking some of the team aspects, well, that has to be counted by something, or they wouldn't be ranked 55th HLTV. They have to have the skill, maybe even above that level. So yeah, we'll see how those dynamics play out today. Bit of a tech pause, and everyone seems to be here, so hopefully nothing too bad.
Yeah. Also, I do believe that this is a pretty favorable one. If you're Monte, veto-wise, a pretty favorable matchup, right? You're looking at some of the maps that they've been picking into lately, and there's been a whole lot of nukes, a whole lot of ancients, or a whole lot of trains as well. You go into a game like this, and you're playing against Sinners that love picking into a nuke too. So that actually makes it a very interesting game for both teams, because they do get to play the decider. On the decider, they get to play one of the maps that they've been picking into the most lately, right? So I think if you're Monte, you probably feel like you're getting another free pick out of it. And if you're Sinners, you might be feeling the same way. Thing is, last time those two played, they lost their respective map picks. Mirage was the close one.
Not the best sign.
No. At least Monte switched it up. Sinners decided to go for the same. They did lose it in overtime, though.
I could believe Monte is also the sort of team that's still figuring out their map pool. I would think Sinners... I'd hope Sinners has a better read on what for them is going to work more often than not. Alrighty then. Round 6. A 4-1 start for the side of Sinners. Lots of players towards B. They got Afro to contend with. This could go very well for the CT side. They get a good timing. This is very awkward. Flash does just about catch Peppo, but players further back can be there for the trade. Leaves us in a 4-on-4. Does give the CTs an early warning that more players are B. So I think off the back of that, Sinners have got to reconsider hitting B and just work a bit instead, haven't they?
You can see how they wanted to react and take a little bit of space in towards middle, though, right? You see the flash assist coming in from Afro. You know the Opera's not going to punish you in towards connector and towards window and towards middle, but also you scale up Stressor and gets into that spot in towards ladder. This is still going to be a B play, but that's a whole lot of pressure on the shoulders of BMAS. He's all alone.
Why have the CTs gone so heavy A? Are they really feeling like because we took them out of apartments, there's no risk in this situation? Strasarin was in ladder.
That's the round. You say.
Wow. That's. I'm not sure what info they were acting off, because given what we know, B was still a pretty heavy risk there.
And now you're losing players. Shock. He's having a field day, maybe a third, not quite. Afro's there with the shutdown, but I need to agree with you. That was a bit of an unfortunate stack, a little bit dysfunctional. You leave Bemis all alone in towards that B bomb side. If he goes down, which he did, even though he did inflict a decent amount of damage onto Stressarn, round is pretty much over. Kind of felt like they gambled when they didn't really need to as much.
I mean, perhaps they didn't have enough info on what had happened mid, but then that's like a lapse in communication. It's not something to be excused.
I think it might be one of those situations where you just overthink the fact that the T's have the information of where the Oper is, and they know the short player is alive as well. So from your perspective, it is logical for both Bemis and Afro to be B. So you're like, well, maybe they'll try and react in towards A, so let's rotate everybody back as quickly as we can, right? Try and fill up some of those gaps.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they weren't right for them. Whatever the logic was. For me,
I love theorizing for things that don't make
sense. I mean, it was just too much of a risk. I mean, leave a player at least spotting apartments or something if you're going to do that. Right, what have we got? Okay, a double call from the CT side. They've again lent A in this situation.
Another B play. Ooh. That's a nice nade. And Shock's gonna get shut down in towards middle. That actually forces them in towards the B play a little bit more, but it probably means that Bemis needs to get a move on.
I think he will be here. The smoke it's actually panned out really well, hasn't it, for Gizmy? It's bought him enough time. There's another player actually flanking in Ryu. And Afro's on hand. There are so many players here. This should be completely impossible for Sinners. They are being trapped in a vice, and that grip is tightening. Even saving would be a result at this point on Kisarek, and I don't think that's gonna be very easy.
No, really. Gizmy is gonna make sure of it. That's 4 rounds now on the CT side, and that was much better. This is how you do a bit of a stack, right? The B player dumps his U2 early on. You've got a nice stack on towards that A bomb side, but nothing happens for the first 10-15 seconds, so you get a little bit proactive. You get that kill on middle, and then the moment that there's no reactions in towards the ramp and palace, you just rotate people back in towards B, and that's the moment when the B player dumps all the remaining of his U2 to try and delay for the rotations to arrive.
Sinners just didn't know how good they had it. Had they known it was solo B, they would have sprinted on early in that round. So in that sense, the kind of the boldness from Monte, and they definitely double called that. They said, we just lost a B round, they're not going to run a fast B. He did in a sense get it wrong, but it was so brash that you never would have bet on it if you were Sinners. Okay.
Big nade on Kisarek, by the way. He's been a subscriber to these.
Pretty committed to buy a hero AK with the way their money is. They've got to do something with this. Well, oh dear.
That's something, right? Not the good type of something, but still something.
Let's see if Sinners take attack pause for this next gun round. Of course, it's been a bit troublesome, hasn't it? The last couple. I keep calling 4-1s. 4A or 4B, and only one mid lurk. In a few rounds, as we've seen a proper mid default into something. In fact, the last time we saw them take mid for real, they got into ladder, didn't they? And pinched B out of nowhere.
Yeah, it really hasn't been an easy one. You can see the money on the CT side starting to mount up as well. Afro's working with more than 10k already, and he's not the only one. Looking pretty affluent right now, but Sinners trying to switch up the approach a little bit, going for the same A-pop as they did a couple rounds ago. This time, though, first contact out of ramp.
Afro chimes in first. These players are struggling a lot to just get out of Ram. But Zuwu with the lineup in the end. Look at where the bodies are. They never made it beyond Tetris. Ryu is killing so many players as the A anchor right now. It's honestly alarming.
I know you called it in the previous one after the anti-eco, but I feel like this is the time to go for a tactical timeout. Maybe not this one, but before the next buy round, Sinners are just getting mowed down. You look at the last couple buy rounds, the only one you were able to pick up was the one where they just over-rotated in the middle of the round, Monte, and left Bemis alone. And now, as you said, you just draw an imaginary line from Tetris towards the wall on the left-hand side of the bomb site. They didn't cross it. Not a single one of them did.
Okay, this is a change of pace. E-pop on the Tex gives me a dispatch. Bemis doesn't last long either. Wow, okay. We asked some questions of Strassaran and Kisserek coming into this series, and at least on this round, they have delivered a lot of individual ability. That is one way to get yourselves back into a map where you've struggled a lot on the gun rounds. Pace and Tech 9s.
Still give it a go here on the retake. They do have the money, but I feel like Kazu's decided, you know what? I don't really need this. I'm just gonna hold on to the AK. And that's, what, the second half buy that they win like this? Already did one into Worsby, I think, earlier on. So we're talking about a game that could have been a lot more one-sided for Monte if it wasn't rounds like these. The good news is money is still looking great for the CT side, right? So they will be able to reinvest until the end of the half no matter what. You can still try and get 8 rounds out of it, but this is just the good old... We're running out of ideas on the buy round, so we just go for the pistols and we do a bit of a B-pop, right? We just hit the bomb site straight away out of Sinners. Not a lot of defaults coming in from them. There's been a lot of off-spawn calling. What does the
pretty much every round
expertise say about that, Alan? Why is that happening?
Maybe they feel the Monte in their prep are a team that loads mid early. Not sure. That would be why most teams would lean in that direction. Double AWP out for the CT side. Sees Peppo reaches death. Afro collects the head of Kisserek in the meantime. Oh, these gun round Sinners. They are troublesome, to put it mildly.
What a denial that is as well. You lose a buy round, you answer back with a double AWP. Gives me with the deep molly posted on the truck. Able to get the first one. I'm actually surprised that it is, I guess, logical to try and get some space elsewhere, but the moment that Gizmi gets that kill with the open towards B, you should have been ready for Afro to potentially be somewhere in towards that A-bomb site. P comes in. A difficult angle to clear out in towards that box in connector. And if you're the Sinners, A feels like the only remaining option. Shock's gonna pick up that C4, running in towards Palace where B-Stick already is. And you've got Stressern trying to find something. That's
Kisserek hasn't won that. They haven't won a fight out of Palace all game so far. Ryu's time to kill is so low on these A duels, and I was thinking for a moment that Sinners might save in the 3v5 because of where their money's at. I mean, Peppo and Kisserek could buy. And it feels like we might be ending that direction again. Man, these defaults for Sinners, this was the first round in a while they weren't heavily loaded towards one site, and they lose 2 players within seemingly the first 20 seconds. They need to just
weird, isn't it?
They need to get into a round and it not to be over early on.
I mean, Ryu's 13-5, and he's your A anchor. I know you pointed it out already like a round ago, but he's been winning every single 1v1 there is, and they still keep on walking out of Palace. What, this was the 4th, 5th time a player has tried to go for that type of a walk, and they've been denied either from the Oper or the AK of Ryu. And yeah, I said it right, the AK of Ryu, because I feel like he's had an AK all half long.
I also feel like because of that sandwich round, every other round, Sinner's like, we need to go Palace. You can't have somebody killing us wide from sandwich again. Sure. So even from that round, he's kind of setting the tone. Somebody needs to be Palace. On the adversary's side, Afro is playing a risky game here. Strassaran surely gets the catch. Yes, he does. There is a player in Bemis. hit and ladder, but no immediate opportunities for a trade. It's going to be an A split. Stressarin backs off a little bit in mid. In the meantime, look at this information play. Ryu, again, just wins every duel, seemingly on this A bomb site. It is unplayable right now for the T's, and it's just Stressarin. What on earth can he do here?
He's just on another level, Ryu, isn't he? 1v1 after 1v1. Stressarin, a couple nice pickups, and a 1 versus 4 might not be impossible. Hold on a second. He's collected a triple out of nowhere, and that's a 4-piece in the round. Needs the ace clutch, and it's just Ryu to find the final boss of that Monte defense so far. Ryu, 45 HP against 64, but look at the angle he's got. How do you clear that out?
I don't think you can. He's got a flash.
Yeah.
That's the only way, right? I mean, you see Ryu will see his legs first.
Yep. I think he's lost it.
Swing with the flash. That is the move. Underarm it. Swing with it. He's surely got to know this is a possibility. Hits a bullet, but no frag. Ryu saves the day. Humiliation slimly avoided as Monte make it up to 8. Second half here between Sinners and Monte. Sinners almost pulled off the 1v4 towards the end there, but no cigar for them. And now they're in a troublesome position. They barely won any gun rounds so far in Mirage. And frankly, they have to get this half off to a good start, or it will not last long. Azuwu says no thank you. Dispatches of Kisarek. Shrasarin does find one, but he is not going to be a lot of help here to shock as CT is getting overwhelmed. Look at all the numbers for Monte. All 8 players seemingly are going to be fighting for this control soon. Smoke goes down. That is timing. There's no flashes on the CT side. They're bursting straight through. 3 duels go their way very quickly. I can't believe they got all those kills so fast.
I can't believe it either. Stresser just gets a triple kill out of nowhere. I was just gonna say, that felt like the ultimate BM, by the way. Kisarek was playing the same position right in front of Palace that Rio was finding so much success from the entire first half. And of course, the first time that a Sinners player tries to go there, they get absolutely deleted. The first time he actually won that fight. Yeah.
How dare you play my off angle? Well, Ryu knows it's coming. He's not checking stairs. He's not checking sandwich. He's checking the weird off angles as you swing out from Palace. Expecting those. Okay.
Not gonna attack me with my tricks, are you? They go for a bomb plant, but they still don't force up. It's an interesting one. Try and do a little bit of damage with the upgraded pistols.
Okay. Haven't seen any second round forces yet. Thought we might see one here, but opting for the Deegs instead. Sinners has been disappointing so far, but they're not out of this map. The first half here was complete survival. That was all they felt like they were playing for towards the end. They have won the pistol, but obviously it's contingent on them converting said pistol. They cannot afford to let this round get away from them, or they will be on map 2 very soon.
Yep. Also, they did invest into 5 rifles here, maybe anticipating a forest buy, so no SMGs. Every single kill that the T's find is at least a lost FAMAS and some equipment. Not cheap. Hello.
This is risky business from Shrasarin. He does have a teammate now with him. It makes it a little bit less frightful. And Peppo does the job. So, a couple players lost, but in the grand scheme, that is not the end of the world. Guns are out now for the side of Monte. I assume Ryu is the A player for their Monte side.
Yeah.
I bet you he goes Palace a lot. I bet you.
That was a very accurate wild guess.
He'll have so much confidence just to take fights after that first half.
Yeah.
I feel like he can win anything. Here he comes, straight towards ramp.
Bit of a default to start it off. Another big nade right on top of Kisarek, by the way. Would love to take a look at the utility damage from the side of Monte. Some of it has been pretty nice, especially on the B bomb side in the first half, but now even keeping it up on the T side. It's minus 39 for Kisarek at the very start of the round. But it's good aggressive presence coming out of the CT side. You push the T's away in towards B. You get some of that deep control courtesy of the deep smoke, and B-Stick will actually go back for it. He's got another piece of utility dropped by a teammate, so the re-smoke comes in. And as of right now, Monte don't really have a lot to work with. They do have middle, which is being uncontested right now, but not a lot of presence towards the extremities.
It's hella passive from Monte. They, sorry, Sinners. They have no information really on this C side. I appreciate B-Stick is taking a bit of space here in apartments, but if he goes down, this could be a huge problem. Traded, he is. Shrasarin is sprinting to unlock down this side. That is a critical kill on Gizmy. Gives him some space to play with as well. Shrasarin is being an absolute nuisance. Falls in the end. I feel like he probably has done his job. Leaves us in a 2v3. A terrorist perspective. Ryu goes hunting and does not find his man. It's just Afro. He's trapped on the bomb site. Soon enough, Shock will be off short to limit even more where Afro can move. Molly makes it tremendously awkward as he commit to this angle
Got a chance
towards Metal. Finds his first man. Surely shot goes wide.
Ooh.
And look at that. There's the pinch. Should be just about enough time. I hope there are kids. We've got it.
Yeah, they've got it. Shock was looking in towards B-Apps for a second there. Not sure if you noticed, but Apro gets the kill into the first player trying to get out of kitchen, and it kind of felt like Shock didn't realize he was in towards rockets, but did turn around towards the right time. 1 round the difference. Bomb plant coming in for the T side. At least that will potentially allow them to put someone on a hero rifle and go for a bit of a hard buy. It's going to be Ryu getting that glow, surprisingly. Been playing a good game, but just like this, Sinners have brought it right back. Truthfully, it hasn't been the cleanest Counter-Strike ever, but they're still making it work.
A lot of modern CS is like that. There's so much on the pistol rounds and the lower buys. For me, Sinners, I said it before the series, I'd wager that they play the better team Counter-Strike. And maybe that would be the difference maker. Helps as well that Ryu is yet to spool up into this half. Here's an opportunity here to take some space in front of Tetra. Shock goes looking, but doesn't actually see Ryu. That is very awkward. Kisarek, what a pair of kills. That second kill was lightning fast in terms of the pivots. Ryu may have taken some space here, but surely he dies from these connector players soon. Doesn't even get that far as Peppo does the job. And now these remaining guys. This should not be possible. Deegs in hand.
Careful.
The player default just gets swung and killed soon. Beasting decides I don't need my teammates. I'll go ahead of them.
This is starting to look very good on the CT side, right? I mean, even though there's a little bit of commotion out of the first couple of kills, it's just such a massive stabilizer for Kisarek, and it's absolutely huge for a type of play like this to come up from him. Look at the turnaround. He was on 3 kills.
Yeah.
Before the start of this
mad.
round. Kisarek was having one of the worst maps that he's been having towards the last couple of weeks, and as we said, he's been probably one of their best individuals. And one of the reasons that I feel like the Polish scene misses him, his multi-kill potential is out of this world. You think about all the upset wins of Kaleshi, of Rebels before that, throughout 2024 as well. Kisarek was always one of the X-Factor players of these teams. Stressern has always been solid, and he already has been having a good map. So what happens if guys like Kisarek and guys like Shock, like Peppo and Diop get a little bit more fired up? I guess I could tell you what will happen. Monte's going to be in a whole lot of trouble.
It feels like they already are to me. This half, even actually the end of that first half was a bit shaky, but man, they need to get a gun round on the board soon. They're going to read a page from the Sinners book, aren't they? And call in towards a site early. Strasarin trapped here under the balcony, swings wide, finds one, but is swiftly traded. Shock now tasked, trying to lock down this side. Peppo, wonder if he broke that smoke because he gets the AWP kill through it. Kisarek, a dangerous game, but wins his duel. And now these terrorist players are seemingly in a lot of trouble, even getting the bomb down here. It's going to be tricky, Beast, to get your gun out. Okay, that could have got scary. But it wasn't too bad in the end, and Afro surely getting quad peaked is not long for this world.
This has already fallen apart for the T side of Monte. Yeah, I'm going to rephrase what I said. They could be in a lot of trouble. Scratch that. They already are. In pretty deep S. Haven't picked up a round on the T side. They go out quickly in towards that A bomb side as well once again, and they just get absolutely mowed down. It kind of feels like they're just trying to pick up the pace and play really rapid Counter-Strike, but again, we haven't really seen a lot of defaults coming out of Monte. It feels like both teams are really uncomfortable to slow things down.
Like 3 mid takes in 18 rounds. It's not what we're used to.
I mean, they did have in that last A take before the previous buy round, they did have those 2 players in towards connector and that tried to boost in towards window. That Kisarek absolutely deleted.
Kisarek could be dead. He is.
Overlooked it completely.
He certainly did. I mean, it looks like they were really intent on focusing towards this B fake that came out from side of Monte, but it was just that. It was a fake. Strasarin, bit of an awkward duel. It does win it out quite cleanly in the end. Surely now they realize what's happening. It's a retake. Very passive setup, but that's okay. It's not like there's loads of nades. It's not like there's great weaponry on this Sinners side. They'll still struggle here to get a bomb plant.
It's not going to be an easy one, is it? Just trying to make it to the bomb site. Might actually get the bomb down. That's the safe plant that you can't really spot out from short either. And with Azu's position, the CTs can't really walk in towards jungle. And now Afro's picked up another one decon to shock. This one might be going out of control.
I'm watching Azu. He's the difference maker, isn't he? If he can kill Strasaren, it leaves a lot of pressure on his teammates. But there's still pistols fighting long-range fights. Azu's got to do something to disrupt the order of proceedings. Strasaren finds his man. There's a player below him. And wow, instant frags. Player was on the bomb in the meanwhile. That is a pretty excellent retake in the end from that CT side.
It's completely textbook, isn't it? You know you're up against the lower buy. You know it wasn't safe to go in towards jungle, so you just throw in the molly to isolate Azu. Smoke on the bomb. They couldn't really do anything to stop you from getting there. And from that point on, one rifle in towards the stairs, just responsible for taking Azu down. The other one towards the back of the bomb site, just making sure he mows down the pistols. Sinners making a lot of those rounds look a lot more simple than what they should be. And Monte have been trying to get bomb plants, but all in all, even when they have been successful, holding on to the bomb site, never even going down to a 1v1, a 2v2, never really going to that type of a clean situation. It feels like the moment that they plant the bomb and it's a 3v3 or a 4v4, they just get completely mowed down. And that doesn't really necessarily fill you up with confidence. The game started so well for them on the first half, and now it's quite the opposite. Ryu slowed it down. Afro, Azu, I know still the stats look pretty decent, but they haven't really been able to keep up the same level. And we might actually see something a little bit different this time around.
Yeah, it was basically guaranteed they were going to go into a more default stance on this occasion, and I think the CTs might know it.
I mean, you never know.
Both their A players towards Connector.
I'm not underestimating their capabilities of calling 5 consecutive A rushes, you know?
Painful for Azu here in the underpass. Look at it now. There's 3 players in and around window / jungle, and you got shock in towards Connector. These CTs surely are intent on fighting for Connector control at some point here. Or maybe players from window.
Kind of feels like re-swing middle later on, right? Wait for some of that T-side utility. Play A on a bit of a retake. Focus on the brunt of the attack coming in from that mid-side. So Azu's going to be in a whole lot of trouble the moment that utility in towards A starts coming in. There it goes. And now they know. Middle's completely clear. They haven't seen anybody else.
T's need an entry. They need a very good entry here. Ryu does collect. So some space created. There's still Kisarek to deal with. He hides in and amongst Connector. It is an open plant. I don't think he's going to swing wide to collect it. Does find Ryu, though. That is a very important engagement. What have we got on this T side per the after plant? One player top balcony. Gizmy, he's gone already. Bemis is tucked in sandwich. You do have a 1-2 punch here with the orb, but surely once that is spotted, there's just so many CTs here that they can overwhelm. And indeed they do. These retakes from Sinners, they have not missed a beat.
I mean, even the utility, right? The T's have no grenades for that post plant. It's all the util that you need to use in towards middle to keep the T's to keep the CTs engaged a little bit. It's all the util you need to use in towards that A bomb side as well to try and open up a gap. And the fact that Azu gets taken down before the execution even comes in, it pretty much makes it a one-dimensional round. And even with the entry onto the stairs players, it was always going to be a difficult one. Kisarek doing a great job to stand his ground in towards Connector. It just feels like they have right about enough utility in every single retake, the CTs. A smoke, a molly, a couple flashes, and Monte forced to go for a B rush.
Don't see this that much in the modern day, but it looks quite good up until Peppo finds the frag, because they have got a lot of space here, but it's all for naught if they can't deal with B-stick towards the back of the site. I can't believe how well this has gone. Afro somehow, I guess he went through the market window smoke, is in behind, They're nice kills, but he doesn't have the bomb. That smoke, I'm not just going to help him all that much, to be honest. Peppo here needs to stop peeking and wait for some teammates. This should not be winnable. Definitely not now. That looks pretty good as they were coming out, from what I could tell. Because
Yeah.
B-Stick was moving around so much. The only other player was an orb. And that is a hard thing to use if they're jumping out of apartments. But they just got completely stalled out. Maybe it was this smoke that B-Stick threw to the right of bench, but
Yeah.
they just could not find the kills on the CC defenders there.
It was a little bit weird, right? Because Afro's the first guy to go out, and he just tucks in towards the kitchen window smoke, and all of his teammates need to fight, but he's on his solo mission. They don't really amount to anything, and now you're stuck with your last opportunity. An A execution, you've got 2 smokes, not even a third for CT spawn, so you're just working with the stairs and jungle ones. And it kind of feels like they wanted to send 2 players down under, but that's been really easily compromised by Kisarek, so now they need to do a little bit of theory crafting in the middle of the round. They can't really proceed with the same idea anymore. Look at the setup again. It's so heavy and towards the right-hand side. I mean, B-Stick is basically alone on B.
Sinners are reading this so well. I mean, pretty much every round, they've either been stacking the right side or in a position where they could get info fast and then rotate into a good kind of retake sort of situation. This round feels the same, doesn't it? They're pretty confident it's not going to be another B round. But it does leave Shock a little bit out in the open. He's going to need perhaps some flashes or at least some attention taken away from himself as he tucks towards his ninja corner. Does anybody clear? Yes. Ryu is wise to that. And he managed to get all the way out in towards CT. So, whilst it is a 4-on-4, Ryu is sprinting. Look at where he went. He was going into the spawn. Oh, did he bite off more than he could chew?
There goes the retake. Flashes go high. Afro up close. Needs a big play. There goes the first. Looking for a second. Beppo with the refrag. 1 player in towards Apex. That's going to be Gizmy. Needing a big play. And again, 1 and the refrag comes in. They all go down. There's plenty of time for the defuse. Sinners close this one out without dropping a round on the CT side of Mirage.
9 in a row. Am I right in thinking... Did they get any towards the end of... They didn't get the last round on the first half, did they? Because that was the Shrasarin almost 1v4 case. So 9 in a row. It's a tough one, isn't it? Because Monte, they look like different teams between...
Gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life.
All right, folks, we're good to go. Promised you that technical timeout would have been a short one, and Gizmy's right back into the server. Probably not a good sign that your IGL disconnects at the start of a map. At least it was a mid-round, so it's not going to interrupt it. A B play by the looks of things. Double smoke, double flash, a single Molotov, and the play is coming.
Kisarek tucks. Ooh, Kisarek not cleared. Kisarek not needed. That's ridiculous.
What?
Can you believe it? Fully baited in. Never gets his chance. He might even die here. Okay, at least he finds his 1 man. He scoops a lock off the floor. Awkward engagement, but gets his second. Wow. It's almost a miracle that there was actually a bomb plant there, given how that went.
Ooh. That was a little bit weird, wasn't it, into escape? You'd usually favor the Glocks running at the USB in close range, but 1 player able to get both these kills. We're not going to see it on the replay, but Kisarek even getting blinded and able to get a double himself there towards the end, but Peppo shutting them down previously. The bomb plant still comes in. This is probably the worst way that this map could start off here for Monte, especially if they end up losing the force. They didn't get a single kill in that pistol. They still decide to go for the investment regardless. It's not a great one. Ryu, the only AK.
Well, he was mighty good on the first half on Mirage. Wasn't that long ago, so at least on like a mechanical level, we know he's primed. Beastic here is on an absolute island. His teammate in Stressor was running B off just a solo nade set fake coming from Azu. That is a bit of an oversight for this Sinners squad. They're now very much out of position per this after plan. They've lost Donut. Shock is still completely on the other side of the map, having to respect Azu as well. This is a nightmare. I don't actually know how you win this as the CT side. This is... with no kit, they need to
gotta pull it off.
Yeah, they didn't have a choice. They just lost way too much ground.
That's a little bit weird. One player goes down in towards Donut, and you can't really do anything about it. I mean, at least you hold on to the guns you have. In a way, you're still gonna have a pretty competitive buy going into the next round. You just need to reinvest into one weapon, and you can easily just put B-Stick on a bit of an MP9. Azu, does he get a kill? That would be massive. Not quite. Stressor is able to hold on. As we said, he was one of the standout performers on the previous map. Same for Kisarek. It is a good response coming out of Monte, though. As we said, there wouldn't have been a worse way for this map to start off for Monte than losing the pistol and the conversion nowadays. A lot more impactful, a lot more important than the pistol round itself is that second round. And for the side of Sinners, that's an interesting one. Their T-sides have actually been a little bit more potent on Enshin lately. They're looking at 3 wins out of their last 5 games. Losses to Ecstatic and Monte, wins against 9 Cybershock and Spirit Academy, and the majority of the rounds converted on the T-side.
Oof.
Wow.
That is unfortunate for Kisarek.
Must have been very quick from the POV of Azu.
I mean, check out the CT's positioning. It's not totally dissimilar to the previous round where we're leaning so far elsewhere. An entire site is left undefended. If they commit fast enough here, it is just Shock in defense. Now, there are fast flankers, but for the moment, the site is very much seeded. Beamus collected. Now, Cave. Control is re-established. B-Stick, that is critical, isn't it? And Stressarin catches one, slinking his way back down the ramp. Well, they had the site, Monty, but they've lost way too many players here in terms of actually getting the bomb down.
And he's still getting kills. Someone needs to stop B-Stick. How is he able to get away with a triple like this? 1v1 after 1v1, and they just fall apart. They were walking into an empty bomb site. And it all goes down in the ashes. Ryu at least needs to get that refrac onto B-Stick here. And that's going to be a freebie, low HP as well. Might actually get away with a bomb plant. He's going to tap the bomb, try and isolate a couple fights. Feed comes in. It's a nice headshot onto Peppo, but was never going to be able to get both of them. Stressor with the shutdown. An instant response coming out of Sinners. And Monte are going to be kicking themselves after this one. It's just because the penny drops. You know B was empty.
They need to pause because, I mean, if you break the round down, they get their kill on B. They have nobody in defense, and all the 4 next kills go the way of your opponents from a 5v4 down to a 1v4. That is not going to be good enough to win this series. If you're a Monte fan, again though, they seem to be choosing the lesser defended sites. Mid was the real port of call for the defense. That is at the expense of A having numbers early. The bomb potentially could go down. B-Stick, though, denies. He has traded. But these smokes are not going to last forever. That bomb now dropped out in the open. There's a molly on top of it. This is a bit of a nightmare now for this T-side. They need frags to get out of this.
Yeah, no smokes left as well. That was one of the 2 flashes. Only one piece of util left. And you can see them desperately trying to get a kill, trying to find a way back. But they're just so ready for it. Shock with one, Peppo with another, and now you spotted the Digo of Afro. Alone and lonely. No armor, no gun, no friends, and no chance to survive this one. Afro doesn't even get a kill, 4 alive, and that was a full investment. No bomb plant for Monte. And now I'd agree with you, Alan. I don't want to see them go for a bit of a tactical timeout before the next buy round, because this is already starting in a pretty tough fashion.
They didn't pause that much either, did they, at the end of the first map?
No, not really.
It's been a pretty much for the last hour, it's been a nightmare. Maybe
You
even
do have a
longer.
really experienced coach on the helm, right? You've got Kakafu, obviously previous experience with teams like Big, primarily. Some other German lineups over the years, like Unicorns of Love, Big Academy as well, Penta. But he's coached 3 majors. He's a pretty experienced guy.
Yeah. Well, he needs to call more pauses. I mean, it's kind of as simple as that at the moment. They can't allow this series to continue with the Sinners players being proactive. Individually, they are way more warmed up than they ever were at the start of map 1. That seems to be the difference at the moment, is Monte, their big advantage at the start of this series is neutralized. It's an even game, maybe even leaning Sinners in terms of the duels right now. They need to use some nuance, you know, default in, take some control, force a bad rotation. They need to conjure something up, because at the moment, simple Counter-Strike is not working.
Nope. Not working at all, and it doesn't feel like things are changing for the better. B-Stick early, aggressive pickup in towards A-Man on Bemis, and that just disturbs the play so much. That's going to put extra pressure on them. They feel like they should take some space in return, and it's because they need to. But look at the aggressive boost as well. Now they're hearing the steps. They know it's cave.
Smokes go down, and they've
Can't go.
bloomed. Yeah,
Focus on the other side.
This is so good. It's just an absolute nightmare for Monte, and this T side is starting to fall apart. It's pretty gruesome the way this is playing out at the moment. Yes, they have the bomb, but not a whole lot else. It will take Sinners players over-facing here to allow any easy fights. Don't think that's going to happen, is it? They can just play off each other's contact. The smoke might pull B-Stick out of the game. Molly certainly holding him at bay for a moment. They need to kill Shock here instantly. Trade, though, is probably good enough, and it is. Tressarin swings. It is pandemonium right now if you're a Sinners fan.
Absolutely
14-1. 14-1 since halftime on Mirage.
Yep. 1 round on the T side, that's what you've won, and you've played 15 out of them is pretty much what you're saying, which sounds a little bit terrifying. And the fact that they've been able to get 8 kills in 6 rounds here on Ensign, and 6 of them have been gathered by Ryu, speaks volumes. Bemis, 1 in 5, Azu, 1 in 5, Gizmi, and Afro yet to register a frag each. And you're down to the pistols again. Donk HE, not really going to do too much damage. And again, looking to test that A-bomb side, but Pepple's already in here with the AWP. 1 kill, fall back, should be easy.
On his time, looking for a good fight.
Wow.
Does find it, and the cavalry's here too. We don't expect teams to win these rounds on the half buys, but damage is helpful, and they haven't found any of
the
it.
damage. It's the fact that it's so convincing, right? There isn't even a moment when you're thinking, well, the CTs actually might be in trouble, right? It's just they walk in, they get mowed down. They're not even making it close to the bomb side, not even able to push them back with utility. It's just they go and they get decimated. Kind of brings you back to that round on the A-bomb side of Mirage where they couldn't make it past Tetris, right? It's got a similar vibe.
Yeah. It's also worth kind of considering that the 1 round they've won here, the 1 round they've won since halftime on Mirage, was a bizarre rotation, a bizarre allocation of sites to Sinners, and they saved in a 4v5 instantly.
Yeah.
Once they lost that control. So,
and you couldn't say that wasn't the biggest loss for Sinners. They did hold on to 4 of their rifles.
yeah, kind of the angle I'm going with is Monte just haven't created any of their own luck, have they, for ages? They haven't made Sinners uncomfortable much in recent times. I mean, even look at the kill count on them for at the moment. 8 kills, 6 of those on Ryu at the moment.
Yep.
It just doesn't cut it. You can't possibly be competitive with that being the case.
Oh, not really. This is a good change though. Azu, finally able to shut down Kissarik in towards Cape, and that's the first opening kill against the half buy or against the full buy they've had in a long time here. But again, utility shortage could be a bit of an issue. Minute 25, T-side has 2 flashes, 2 Molotovs, and a singular smoke to work with, and they're going in with the bomb into the double setup.
That is massive. That is game-changing. Now the bomb is dropped. A little bit surprised these rotations aren't even faster from the CT side. But Shock does get his catch. Bemis dispatched with, you can see the 2A players. They're just playing a full buddy system at the moment. They've fully given control. Just need to deal with Azu here. He's the only player, for my money, could cause real problems, and he's caught with a nade in hand. This is... It's a decimation. It's not even a match at the moment.
Stresser is 10-0. He hasn't died. We're 8 rounds deep, and Stresser has not died a single time. He was low on HP this time around, just peeks on a double headshot. And it's the perfect reaction. You lose a player towards Cave, you've got no presence on middle. Of course you're going to try and push one of the extremities. Try and respond back, and it didn't really feel like Monte were ready, trying to walk out with the bomb in towards main while you're having 3 players on the other side of the map. Felt like you gave this one away a little bit too easily. Gave them an opportunity, and now you're down to the pistols and trying to go B again.
They've had 2 5v4s in good positions. And Monte during this half, and they've blown them. Win those, and this is very competitive. They might even have the winning scoreline.
Oh, God.
Oh, when it rains, it pours right now on Ancients. Sinners are already a map to the good. They're up 8-1. They're definitely buying every round in this half. Whatever happens from here. Use those pauses, Monty, because if you're saving any, they're not going to be needed, because the second half is going to be about 20 seconds long at the rate we're going.
Not using the pauses right now is not a signal for we know what's wrong and we know how to fix it. It's a signal for we know what's wrong and we can't fix it. We're just giving up. That's what it feels like, at least. You're down 1-8. Surely you can use a little bit of time to talk to each other, right? Surely you can try and still recover, get 3-4 rounds on that T side. Doesn't really feel like they believe, though. Gives me Afro yet to register a kill, Stresser and yet to go down. Might be going for a perfect half of Counter-Strike.
That would be something. Where is he? Donut. Got some work to do on this round. Monty, again, do get a 5-on-4. For my money, I bet they've had more opening kills on gun rounds than not. Which is pretty mad to say with this scoreline. And that's why I'm not filled with confidence. They simply cannot afford to make any errors here. This needs to be the cleanest Counter-Strike they've played today. They've got to win these rounds.
They've gotten 3 opening kills since the start of this map. And all
pretty sure all of those were gun rounds.
Yeah, all 3 of them gun rounds. This one, the previous, and the first.
For those viewers that are unaware, a good team probably converts something in the order of 70 to 80% of rounds where they have a man advantage. So that's the level we're holding them to. This time, they did get the first kill. They have got a very handy trade in mid as well. It's allotted them this bomb site. If they get this bomb down and hold on to Donuts, this is a good opportunity. Sinners will no doubt attempt this, given the money, obviously, but this is the hardest round to turn around. Kisarek does find the first kill. Tresarin yet to go down, and that tune does not change. Azuwu is low. Afro has got to do the heavy lifting. Tresarin looks behind him. He doesn't know just yet. They're both in towards connector. Afro continues to hold. Azu is tremendously scared to face, and we're running out of time. I don't think this is possible on that side alone. It's a good attempt. But surely this gets denied. Afro, surely.
You got it.
Oh my lord. I'm lost for words.
The moment
they cannot convert around to save their lives right now.
That's insane. The moment the rifle swings and goes down, they just stick it. That was a 5v4, that was a 4v3. And they just went all the fights. Azu's low on HP. He was so patient, but Stresser just baited him out in the last opportune moment.
I didn't even think he had the time. It was... I can't believe it.
It was so close. It was so damn close, but they got it.
This is a nightmare pause to have to take, by the way, because you're going to lose most of your pause trying to calm people down.
Do you think it's going to be nerves at this point? You think they're going to be frustrated?
Not nerves. I mean, I think
they're
it's
just pissed?
frustration. It's like
I feel like they're just done with it.
They've had so many opening kills. It's so often you see a scoreline like this, and you watch the gun rounds, and it's like, wow, we just, we went out mid, we lost the first player, we defaulted B, we're losing players early to aggression, we're playing every round 4v5, of course we're going to be losing rounds. That has not been the case. Monte have had their chance, and they have blown it too many times. Sinners, yes, they're playing excellent Counter-Strike. Yes, they're staying calm and poised and being proactive in man-down situations, but they'll know themselves that they have turned it around one too many times. They're getting more than they bargained for in every duel, it feels like, at the moment. And again, we're in the same scenario where it just simply has to be converted, this, for Monte.
Nice on the flanker, though. Stressor, big fight coming up. Gives me with an important frag. This could finally be round number 2 here on the board. You can't
took 11 rounds, but they killed him.
Lose another. Yeah. He's finally died.
Beastic's not a bad substitute, though. 13-4. Then he had a little bit more HP to play with.
Hold on.
Absolutely assassinates Gizmi. Poor Ryu is a lucky boy with that HP to still be alive. 7 health. Peppo knows it. Can he get this frag? Swings wide.
Oh my God.
And Monte, they're out of lives, as far as I'm concerned. I think this map might be over.
This is insane. You're just looking above, and all you can see is the bottom of the pit. You're even below that right now if you're Monte. This has been such a baffling result. And just for reference, Alan, the only map on Ensign that Monte in 2025 have lost in a similar fashion was a 2-13 loss to the Alliance. That happened on the 8th of September in the second ESL Challenger League Season 50 Europe Cup. And they got 2 rounds in there. They might get just the one here.
We've got the pace. I kind of rate it in the sense of we're struggling to play as a team, so let's just deathball it. Play with a lot of pace. The problem they've got here is their afterplans are not good. One of them needs to make a play, and they're running out of time. Gizmi has to win these fights, and he is completely assassinated. 11-1. Surely is going to arrive soon. Afro is playing for survival. He's done a lot of good work, but it is not enough. This bomb will be stuck. Kisarek nails in the 11th. An unbelievable half from Sinners as they look to be striving into this upper bracket final.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh, 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 how will I get out of the jungle? Everybody wanna stop me. 10 more steps up the mountain. Now where
2 rounds away from conceding their biggest Ancient loss since the start of 2025, Monte. The lineup might be a little bit different, but Ancient has always been a comfortable ground for this side. Well, apparently not today. 11-1, Alan. Monte have picked up 1 round since the switch up between the first and the second half of map number 1, and now they need to get 12 in a row.
This ramp push has to work. Good kill from Azu. He needs to stay alive, and he makes it 2. Okay. Drops the bomb as well. So some decent information. They can continue with their B lean. Azu makes it a 3rd. So at least somebody's got some life left in them. Get out of this molly. That would be nice. But this is a non-starter, this pistol for Sinners. Game will be extended yet.
Unless... Stressor with the 1v4.
Almost did it
I've
once.
seen crazier things.
He almost did it on Mirage. I'm not feeling this one, though. They're much more reserved. Doesn't even cross the first man. Well, it's twice as good as it was going for Monte. That is the best I can say at the moment.
Sure. That's a big positive. Yeah. You know what?
50% better. It's impossible for it ever to improve that much again.
Yeah.
It would be less.
100% better, actually.
100%.
Yeah.
Need some more?
Yeah, you need to turn that 100 into another 100 and then into another. You kind of need like a 10,000% better performance. And then maybe things could work out.
That might be their team talk tomorrow.
Yeah.
Guys, we need to be 10,000 times better. This is not good enough. But it works if you
We're almost there.
Okay.
All right, hear me out. Clean anti-eco,
hearing.
you farm up the money, you've got an MP9, you've got the FAMAS. Things are looking good. Their CT side on Mirage was great. Maybe that's the issue. Maybe they're just a CT-sided team, you know? Have you thought about that? Maybe now they're bringing it back.
If you... Even if you want to take that line to the extremes, the problem is they have no rounds to play with. They can't make any errors. They can't afford to lose the anti-force buys they did on the first half of Mirage. They've just made too many mistakes today for me to believe that they can get through these rounds without making more. The one thing that has been in their favor is that opening kills not being a huge issue. And that has to continue. They can't afford to give Sinners too many chances.
Yep. Or you will be going right into the lower bracket. Of course, a friendly reminder to everyone joining into the ESL Challenger League Season 50 Europe Cup 4 right now. We've got
That's a mouthful.
this game. Yeah. You've got this game going on right now, and then we've got Venom taking on 33 in the other side of the upper bracket. So the winners of those 2 games are going to be playing each other. And then the loser of this is going to be facing off against the winner of 1win and Nemiga, which is one of the lower bracket games happening right now. Nemiga 1 map up, the other one. K27 is 1 map up against 500.
This round's going well. 2 kills in mid. Bemis under a bit of pressure. He doesn't have a teammate that nearby. Ryu's actually going to push the red room smoke. That is timely.
What is he doing? He's got the bomb. Is he crazy?
Could be. Azu. Oh my lord.
What? Why is this working?
Afro is on location, so at least somebody's around to deny a bomb plant. But check this out. Sinners changed their tune. Ryu is on 8 HP, and they are going 1 apiece to the sites. I mean, we've seen them drop the ball a lot during this map, haven't we? But this would take the cake.
There's no way Ryu's not going to get the kill. There's 5 seconds on the clock. Kisarek just needs to go for the bomb plant. There goes the kill. They were just gambling on the fact that the CTs would try and stay together. And Peppo's too far ejected out of this. Might actually kill Afro. That's, it's not too big of an ordeal, I guess. Monte do have the money, but it's still a kill. They can still have by around this AK. But the comeback is happening.
That was still way too dicey, man.
It's nah, you know what? It was all calculated. They're right back at it.
I like the Ryu push, but
Sure.
the players that came off the ledge, man, those were some awkward fights. Teams were pretty pinned as well. They were just stuck in donut. It wasn't like, you know, they could have won the round immediately from that position.
I mean, Kisarek was alone with the bomb. His teammates were pushing in towards the A bomb side from donut, and he just turned around and started fighting middle. We're seeing a little bit of madness. Yeah. Gotta appreciate the carnage.
Okay. So we did see a couple of these rounds won like this on Mirage. From Sinners on their T side. I wouldn't put it past them to at least make this competitive. Here we go. Ollie does not root out Gizmy. And now look at the counter nades. It is a nightmare. If you're Sinners, they have got a player coming in from Cave, and actually Beastic finds his man, but that will be all he collects. And it looks good now, doesn't it? 4 alive on the site. Shock. What does he do? But he could run A. I doubt he knows how good he's got it right now.
Might actually have a little bit better if he just slows things down and goes back B. They've started rotating around, and it will be the A approach. Steps heard though from the red player of Afro, I believe, and in towards the Xbox B mess. We'll be able to collect that one. That's 5 rounds on the board now for Monte. Slowly but surely working their way back into this one. 6 the difference. They haven't dropped one since the switch. You would have known if they had. The game probably would have been over. But that's another buy round coming in from the Sinners now. So what do we want to see out of them?
It is a bit hard to say because obviously their first half on Mirage on that T-side was a bit of a nightmare. More control. For me, they're a team here that mid-round will beat Monte. Will make better decisions. Will be able to move around the map with more poise. So I wouldn't mind a very default half from them. Take mid, try and force some rotations, see if there's B reactions, this sort of thing. Try and get players into red room if possible. And Ryu might be about to get a fight here. He does. Steps out. Strasaren, who, forgive me if I'm wrong, started this map 12-0?
Yep.
Might even been 13.
I think it was 13 because he died. Yeah, because he was 13-1 at one point. So he and that was right after he died. So he was 13-0. Yeah.
He hasn't been a
1-7.
factor for ages.
Yeah. 1-7 in the last couple. It's been a tough one, really. Ryu gets an opening kill when there was no one really in a position to try and punish him. 50 seconds on the clock. Doesn't really feel like they've been able to gather too much. There goes the kill onto Ryu, though. You finally get that refrag, and Bemis is still in towards the back of Donut. Oh, no.
How have all these players crossed without Bemis being a factor? He's let them slip completely through. Only Afro and... Well, he took on way too much there, didn't he? Oh, my lord. That was a 5-on-4, and it is completely crumbled.
It's a little bit weird, isn't it? I mean, I know we're talking about a dead course here, and that was probably never supposed to be a comeback out of Monte, but it's just the fact that you have that 5v4, and then what's going on? Ryu's going into a 1v2, 1v3 in towards middle. He's alone and isolated. Bemis is playing for himself. Azu goes in with an individual fight as well. Gizmy peeks alone. It kind of feels like they're just a little bit disjointed on that CT side, even when they do get the man advantage.
They've just lost an unacceptable proportion of those during this map. It's not good enough, and they'll know it. They'll watch this demo back and say, man, we need to convert more of these rounds. The majority of them, for sure.
Yeah.
If they'd even converted, let's say, half of their 5v4s, we would be in a pretty even map right now. That's how much they dropped the ball.
Peppo, looking for an opening kill in towards red. I'm not sure if you expect the Oper to be the first one in line. It's a little bit of a weird fight, though. Too many players on his screen there. Gizmy a little bit lost in the sauce with that one. And he does bite the dust. That's 4 kills between Sinners and that upper bracket final. And they have slowed it down. Bomb still dropped in towards that T-spawn position. Beastic will be the one taking responsibility for picking that one up. Where do you want to go with this, though? You still have a whole lot of presence in towards middle. Not too much in towards the bomb sites.
I think Monte needs to take a risk. Get a bit more aggressive. Pushing into Cheetah there is scary, isn't it? Because of the way the angles play out. But they've just given up all of this mid-room. Ryu needs to do something tremendous here to save his team, and he cannot, and the numbers are falling thick and fast. Bemis, they know he's an A player. They have B-bomb site on lockdown. They've got 2 AWPs in play at this point as well to hold longer sight lines. And it's over 13-5. It's just been a sensational series from Sinners from the second half of Mirage onwards. They didn't put a foot wrong, for my money. They barely made any mistakes in the last, hour 15 of gameplay. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it is absolutely